Yes, we are here at the last interview of my 32-hour piece of madness. And it's amusingly one of the first people that I interviewed last year, who we have got to know a lot better since last year. It's pMad, aka Paul Dillon, but it's pMad. It's pMad. How you doing?
Absolutely brilliant, and a year on, mad. It actually has been mad. Thank you.
I was going to say we're going to explore a lot about all of the crazy goings on that you've had over the past year, and also touch. We had a laugh backstage just because my first introduction of pMad was that guy from the group, from the Best of Irish Indie group. Yep, and I introduced all his tracks names wrong, and I was very, and still do. Yeah, I still occasionally call it breakages. But before we go any further, I think we should start off with one of your tracks. So, would you like to introduce Medicine for us?
This is my pMad second single, Medicine. Just like that.
Lovely. Right, for the visual stream, we have to talk over the track so they don't get booted off. Unfortunately, so this was the second track that come out. We did a quick interview of this. I remember doing this because I asked you the very important question: what was black and white and red and green?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And it was sort of like the children's thing, a newspaper, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say we had a lot of sunburnt penguins, snotty sunburnt penguins. I think was one of them.
That's probably what great. The red and green and black and blue tablets do to you. Yes, they probably see sunburnt penguins. Mostly about drugs, I think. Yeah, and.
So a year, so it is pretty much a year on for this song. What has a year on of Medicine gone? Because from what I've seen, this was one of your better received tracks.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I thought they were all fairly well received.
I think they were all very well received. I'm not. See, try and say a nice thing about one thing, and you think I'm saying bad things about everything else.
Oh, that's bring me down to earth straight away. Thank you. Yes. No, it was one of the well-received. Of the 5 tunes, it was probably in the top 5 well-received tunes. It did very well, actually. Depends who you're talking to, you know. Yeah. pMad is not for everyone. It's done well, yes. That particularly did well, not on your radio station and a lot of other radio stations, thankfully, yes.
Yes. What's it been like to go from kind of 0 to 100 in a year?
I tell you, I went from 0 after talking to you. I went from 0 to 100 in about a week. You've made us famous, yeah. God, I don't know. Sure, nothing has really changed. Still, I heard there was 8 billion people during the week on the planet, and a lot of them have not still heard of me. You know, so it's good to do.
I like the attitude.
There's hope for me yet, you know, but I don't know. It's a bit mad that from Malaysia to Canada to the depths of the rainforest in Brazil and things like that are playing. I'm a sickeningly Excel phobe, or not phobe, addict, and my list from 5 or 6 radio stations playing it now and shows has gone to about 700 or up near 800 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you finding managing all of that?
I found it's not simple. Making the music is very easy. This getting around and answering 50 emails every day but look, the one bonus what I will say is, and the huge thing is, and I've sent it out now at the minute, this meeting, without pMad I wouldn't have met you, and I wouldn't have met all the other wonderful, wonderful people in the whole world. Shakers, it's been amazing. Like, I'm really chuffed to it's not that we just wouldn't have met, you know. We'd get on no matter where we were, but we just wouldn't meet, and this is fantastic, you know. So that's the biggest change.
Yeah, it's amazing how we've seen this throughout all of the interviews that I've done over the past 32 hours and throughout a lot of things, that the common thing from independent musicians, as much as we all like everyone to hear our music and stuff, is just to keep that scene, that network alive, and make it bigger.
Yeah, and XRP is just one of those. It's fantastic. Like the lads, I love it. And sometimes I'm full of vodka, I must admit, or the chart show or something like that. But it's a community, like it's wonderful. Jeez, it's brilliant, and everyone supports each other. And the one thing, in Ireland especially, if someone fucks you out of it, they'll love you. And
Yeah.
I see on the chat rooms that happens a good bit, you know.
Yeah.
Huge love.
Yeah, it's got to be done. I think in a world where, you know, all our entertainment is being controlled and molded and fit into these little blocks and served to us on a platter. You know, it's great to have artists like you that come to platforms like ours and the millions of others that are out there, and will happily come and go, "I've got a fucking tune here. Do you like it?" And there's not all this over the top pretense of, you know, super long emails going, "We are a great band that is well received in many venues in our local area, and we play it in the style of," and you're like, it's just like, we just want to meet people, which is great. We're just going live for the radio now. That was Medicine from pMad. If you're joining us on the live stream, you can hear us talking a little bit more in depth about the songs and the history of the short but excessive history of pMad. And if you want to hear the songs in full, if you haven't heard them, stick to the radio stream at xrpradio.co.uk. So, yeah, I mean, crazy year, crazy meeting a lot of people. Crazy to have got the whole album out within a year with merch range. What would you say your biggest stumbling block over the year has been? That your biggest wall that you had to face?
Time, just human time of having to pay the bills, and I'd be very hungry if I was living off music and things like that. So you have to do the other bits and pieces no more than yourselves, and this is all. It's a form of volunteerism and annoying people probably, but yeah, just time and making time. But when you get up at 6 a.m. and the phone doesn't start ringing until 9, you have time, you know. So I make time, and I'm good at that, which is good. And like I said, Excel is my thing, and I manage it well, you know. So, but no, that's a small. If that's the problem, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Most of the time, going this time last year, it was very easy to manage my emails. So
yeah,
it's better to be talked about than not talked about, you know. So
yeah, well, I mean, it is showing the difference, which is something that the reason why I got you here is to see that difference and see working hard does pay off. Because I remember from that first interview, you kind of got the songs out, and I think we were, if not the first, one of the first interviews that you did, and you were a bit like, I don't really know what to. I mean, this is what I'm doing with it. You know, and now you've like, I've got too many emails to answer. I don't know what to do. That extreme difference of going from I don't know what I'm doing to I've got too much to do is.
The one thing I did do, I stuck to my plan, whether I liked it or not, or whether anyone else liked it. I stuck to my plan. I set out a timeline, and I was taking the summer off, and that was it. And I stuck to it, and it refreshed, and it worked for me.
What's your favourite moment? Your kind of keystone thing that you're going to be looking back at every year from now on?
There's thousands of millions of them, but really, your moment chatting with you the first day, hearing anytime I listen to Mixcloud is a bit of a god because I'm thankfully a load of different shows, but you couldn't be while I'm asleep. It's being played all over the world. So I try to get into the shows and things like that and listen to them and listen to new music. But every time you're going along and say, and I'm typing away, answering an email, listening to a show, and next thing pMad comes on, whatever show it is or whatever song it is, and the hairs still go up on the back of my neck and say, Jesus, that's fucking brilliant. I'm on the radio. Wow. As if it was the first time. You know, nothing changes. It's just, it's a music fan, you know, it's just brilliant.
I love that, and your energy and excitement for it. I love it. Always shines through. Like earlier this morning, I believe. In fact, I played pMad, and all of a sudden I get a message. I'm out of breath. I ran across the room to say thank you for playing. You know what? I say it not in a nasty negative way, but there aren't enough people out there thanking the people that are promoting them like that, and I love it. But please, you don't have to run next time.
I probably won't be able to next time. I work off the Japanese that there's only so many beats in my heart. I'm not going to overwork them now, and if I can help it.
I love it. I think we'll play another track from you, and for the first time ever in interview, I'm determined to get this right first time. Broken. Would you like to give us a little explanation about what Broken is about?
We are all broken, admit it. I'm definitely broken. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with you, me, or anybody. Who cares? Get on with it, yeah? Be happy with your breakages.
Here we go, Broken pMad. Oh, my nose is dripping.
And you just sit there in the corner there, ALC, you're the pretty face of the game. Yeah, giving the bit of glam.
I keep them under control. I'm actually working right now.
Yeah, she's actually at work.
Yeah. Of course.
But no, she's it's useful to have someone around. With this, everything is doubled up, so every time I press a track it's doubled up. Every time I have to press a mute button, I've got to press it in 2 places, and I forgot so many times. And ALC keeps an eye on the chat boxes and messages everywhere and goes, oh, someone's just said your mic's still live while you're talking over a track. And if I didn't do that, she is a lifesaver.
I don't know how you do it. It's absolutely unbelievable. I can't handle it. I struggle to turn on the computer and just okay, have I pressed the right thing? And Jesus, am I talking now?
I think I was just lucky because I started off when internet radio was kind of, it was available, but it was only just becoming kind of more used and more accessible. So I started off when internet radio stations were literally like you had to drag the track into the thing and press it, and you had one mute button and that was it. And if your mic level was different to the track, you was just stuffed that you had to deal with it. And then over the 17 years we've added a now playing box, and we've added a mute button. So slowly up until now I've only ever had one more button at a time to deal with, and it's been easy. But as soon as we've added this, I've gone from, one more button at a time, integrating it in, to everything that I have to do duplicated. But it's been the learning curve, I have to say. But this interview's not about me, it's about you.
Deflect.
It's easy. This is the worst thing about being a radio host and also liking to talk about myself and what I'm doing. It's so easy.
That's okay.
You kind of turn the interview back around on myself. So a lot of success in kind of radio plays and stuff like that. I've seen you getting played on these many radio stations. What kind of what was your play to get into them? Did you find a good list of radio stations? Did you use any PR or plugging agency, or is this just a hell of a lot of hard work?
It's a mixture with cheapo. I'm cheapo. I never pay for something you can do for free. I can do for myself for free, and there's nothing like connections. I sort of, you may have noticed, I can talk, and so I like talking to people, and no more than yourself, try and switch things back to people and talk to them and hear their story, and that's important. And because, as I said, you're doing important. One, the artists I find before too much up their own arse, thinking the radio stations won't survive without us. Of course they will. So one isn't much good without the other. So we need to be friends. We need to like each other. You don't have to like my music, but other people outside might, and So I decided that was the plan. Is rather than getting on certain things, was to get on radio. That was my dream.
Let me hold you there whilst we go live. That's Proken from pMad. We just diving into in the backstage the route into radio and the many radios that pMad was taking. And you just come to say that you had that idea, you wanted to get on a lot of stations, and that was your plan.
Yeah, the plan was, that was my idea. The plan, every 8 weeks, a song, and roughly in around that. And I like a plan in front, and the radio stations. And what radio stations are finding is people, we follow each other. So I'm following some similar bands, and where they're getting played. And I'm robbing their ideas, and they're robbing mine, and there's sort of a snake going around. And when one radio station in I don't know, in Hungary, and I emailed them off somebody else, and next thing they get 40 emails from outsiders, and they say, "Where did Jesus did that come out of?" They're all sort of sneaking around after each other and things like that. So Excel, absolutely wonderful. I put it in, and I have the list is often a lot longer, and the ones that won't touch me and tell me, unsubscribe me, please, unsubscribe me. But the list is getting longer on the other side as well, and say, pMad doesn't suit everyone. That's fine. But I will ask. And the only thing they can say to me is, no, it won't hurt me.
That's it, really. Yeah, it's an impressive amount of work to do yourself as well. I mean, I know this from, we work with so many radio pluggers. We get a lot of agencies that send us large amounts of music on a constant basis. And I know the effort that they put in for their artists. So for you doing that yourself, and I may add, just looking across your Facebook page, actually getting a better response than you may have got from paying for radio promotion is impressive.
See, I work for me. I always work for me. And I'm nothing against, you pay your money. There's no guarantee. You pay your money, you take your chances, you know. And I'd rather, what I did was, there was a couple of 50 quids here and there to say, look, I'll chance 50 quid here, I'll chance 50 quid there. And some of them paid off, some of them didn't. I learned there's more people out there willing to take my money than give me the work back on it.
Yes.
Show me your music, we'll do this for you, we'll do that for you. And there seems to be more people making money out of the artist than the actual fucking artist. So
100%.
What I decided was, okay, I'm going to do it myself, but I'm going to invest in some t-shirts, I'm going to invest in putting an album out, and I'm going to send them out. And that'll be my PR. And so it's gone well, thankfully.
See, it does seem to be. We're a year on. We're a year on now, and the plan has been in action. You've got your merch, you've got your CDs, you're sending them out. So what's next?
Like I said, I was saying earlier on, I took the summer off. I'm going to take the summer off, and what we did in the summer was not take it off. Did 8 new tunes in the finishing off. Mastering them now again and someone I was talking an interview during the week as well, and they were saying, so you've an album made before you even release your debut, your second album made before you even release your debut. And yeah, that's the fact. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think I've ever known such a prepared musician in my life. But I mean, I tell you what, if I went back to managing bands, I would love to manage you, because it would be a pleasure. I wouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, well, I'd have to manage you now. In all fairness, that's the trouble, you know. So thanks. A bit single-minded, and then we're trying to get the greeting going as well, you know. So
I've got I couldn't. No one can manage me. Don't do that. It's not going to happen. Someone tried once; it didn't work very well. So next album's due out before you release the first one. Obviously,
I think I might just hold back the first one, put out the second one first, and just to really confuse things. No,
that
I know.
That'd be hilarious. What led you to in this world of a lot of people, and you kind of did release your singles in that way, at least to radio, of a lot of people just doing singles here and there, and albums and EPs kind of not being not being so obviously wanted. What was your kind of mindset to was it just something you wanted to make an album, or was there any other thoughts behind that to go back to the old school ways?
Yeah, it's a mixture that the world has changed. So, like you're no more than analog radio to digital radio to internet radio. People, the way they listen to their music is one off here and there. And next thing, and even myself, I hear, Jesus, I'm saying that's a good album. Next thing, something that, if you like this, you will like this. And next thing, you're off down a rabbit hole, and you're, Jesus, I wanted to listen to more of what I started off with, but what was their name? I've forgotten that, actually. So, you end up sucked off. No, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, you end up dragged off that you didn't want to. So, but you put out a single, and like that, we'll say, Who Am I, Medicine, Broken, Horror, Sisters. Everyone has clicked with one or two of them or three of them, not them all, maybe. I don't know, some have. And so you by putting them out individually, you're clicking, like I said, the 200 list became 300, became 400, became 800, and Sisters clicked as well then at the end, and it sort of. And then you're correct. I always want to bring out an album. I'm a music fan. I wanted my grandchildren to find out and say, for my own children's embarrassment, there's the album.
That's something that we've almost lost in this new era. Because I remember, when I was younger, my old man turning around to me and going, "Oh, this is a CD that I got from this gig, and this guy signed it, or whatever." And that's gone now. Like, you can't sign an MP3. You can't pick an MP3 up from a gig. You can't, that. And I was talking to Roberto Montoya earlier from Icons of Industry, and the fact that there's this whole generation now out there that have never had they've only got subscriptions. They've never had a physical DVD, CD, tape, cassette, any of that. Even a CD player, because everyone just uses their computer and phones now. All of those items that we used to have when we were young, nobody has it. This new generation that's come in, it's so weird.
Yeah, I remember back in Dublin, back in the day, when I was in college, and you'd go see Fugazi or Nirvana and Dinosaur Jr. or whoever it was, and then on O'Connell Bridge in the morning was the bootleg of that on cassette. You'd walk down the street and you'd buy £3, £2. You'd buy the cassette of the gig you were at, and I still have a load of them. Absolutely amazing. Or even oh Jesus, yeah, my albums. I have stuff there. It's just behind me. Dinosaur Jr. and Five Go to Sea and all that sort of stuff. Wonderful. So look but that's the way I was walking down the street and always carrying a bit of pMad gear with me, and I had the CD, the EP, and I ran into this person who was a famous Irish hockey player, and I just, I knew them, and said, "Here, we listen to that, or if you know someone, here's a few of them. If you know someone," I said, "What's that?" And she's in her 20s, whatever, and I said, "That's the CD." She said, "Where the fuck would I play that?"
Oh no.
Yeah, she was driving a 22 Merc, of course. Yeah, that was a different story. They don't seem they're not in these things.
Oh, it's a crazy world. Yeah, so off the back of that chat, so the CD was really to kind of bring back that want of physical, to give someone a kind of physical object, or have them buy it more importantly.
Yeah, I think it's for it's the way I made it up. The CD, if it never sells, which I'm so amazed, I'm going to the post office there every day, sending off 10. Wonderful, all over the place, Spain, there's everywhere.
Excellent.
But I'm also sending out ones as just promos and stuff, and the reaction back has been, brilliant. Say thanks very much. The hard copy, people do appreciate that, So
it's quite funny. We just had James Doyle in our chat box has just gone, "Incidentally, I just pre-ordered the record on Bandcamp because my brother's a big on goth and darkwave. I love it, so I know he will too. So right now we've just sold you."
Sell.
Next one. James also asked, "Where about in Ireland are you?"
Yeah, looking at James Doyle, he must be a bit of Irish there, if not Irish already. So I'm Portumna, County Galway, sunny southeast Galway. We're famous hurling and Mike Denver, as they say down here. There's only two types of music I like. It's country and western. So I'm sort of.
Oh dear.
Oh, there, yeah. So I don't really match in there. I won't be on the same stage. But anyway, I'm Portumna. Yes, a great place. Beautiful town.
Ooh. Don't know what happened. Right, let's keep. Sorry, things happen. I'm not used to this yet.
It's not my first interview here, you know. I know this.
I know. I love the fact that pretty much any time that, and I don't know whether you're always there or you just have a habit of turning up at the wrong point, but you always turn up going, oh yeah, the professionality of XRP radio is so.
Yeah, and I hear your DJs are moving around, listening to other radio stations as well.
Oh, calling him out. I don't know. Some people think we're just a bunch of reprobates that happen to bully a developer into making us a website. I don't know. Right then, I think it's about time to play another pMad track. And I'm possibly controversial here. I'm going to go for my favourite version of horror, which is actually the mix.
Yeah, and you know how you pronounce how would you pronounce that?
Well, I mean, I want to say home mix, but
correct, right, 100%. Everyone goes home. Me, no, it's just home. I put the big M on everything just as a branding exercise.
Oh, because of the M in P. I see what you've done there.
You go to youth and there's memory, and people are going memory.
Oh. Well, here we go. Here's that mix, and we're going to talk about it on the visual stream. So come and join us if you've heard it before, or listen to it full if you haven't. And well, you can watch this back later.
Yes. And actually, it was probably as popular as the other one, as the so it was a different mix. That's all. Yeah, put out the two.
Because both these mixes are done by you, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all. Everything is smattering by me. Yeah. Well, no, Dominic and Pepe would be doing the final productions and mixes on it and stuff. But yes, it'd be my take on the thing. Yeah.
So, what led you to, out of all the tracks, pick horror to kind of double mix?
Well, Youth was done as well as a.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And Who Am I was done as another mix as well.
I didn't know Who Am I had a different mix.
Yeah. Who Am I is there. Yep. Done. Yeah, it's very popular actually. Yeah.
That one must have missed a spy.
Yeah. You actually had it up earlier on there, the picture of it. Who Am I? The pMad remix. You actually had the picture.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
pMad is not a cult remix. Yeah. Yep.
Yes, I do remember now. Say I'm wrong.
So, look, it's just the dark. I don't know whether I'm dark or not. I'm very happy, but anyway, the music seems to be. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It is hard to get kind of dark wave, synthwave, gothy without being moody. You can't really write a song about teddy bears and unicorns.
Well, this is why I went. Everything is. It was hard to differ when you go down through this dark wave bands and all the dark bands and the rest of it. Every album cover was black and it was like snow or whatever it is. Anyway, it's all Joy Division and all the rest of it. That's why I went totally mad with the colors on who I wear what to just deflect across, and it might be noticeable, you know. It's a marketing ploy. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those that not. Sorry, Cam.
Why the fuck did you rearrange those words to not be who, what, where, when, why?
Oh yeah, this is a bane of contention for me.
Well, see, once again, it's like what is pMad and who is pMad?
Confusion and chaos.
And who, why, where, what? It could be any way you wanted it, but as long as you end up going out of the house, knowing or away from the conversation, knowing where, why, who, when, whatever.
Yeah. I tell you what, the same with breakages. Every time I go to say who, what, where, when, and I'm like, no, it's the other way around. Yeah.
I have made that mistake when I was even writing it onto the graphic designer. I said, "Oh Jesus, no, it's the other way, isn't it?" And we eventually got it right. But anyway, Yeah, it's
I was
just
going to think
big questions.
you're going to be internationally renowned for just doing things that aggravate people.
Hey, it's better to be talked about than not being talked about at all, you know. It's all
You're not
right.
wrong. You're not wrong. Here we go. That was horror. The home mix, because I know how to read English, by pMad. I'm losing my mind now. Where were we? I had a list of questions in my brain, and they've gone down the
Write them
pan.
down.
That would be the smart option. The problem is, I try not to make all these interviews. When you're doing 4 or 5 interviews in a day, you don't want to have the same interview. Like, oh, what does pMad stand for? Well, I've already asked you that, and it's your bloody initials.
Oh, and good memory you have too.
See, I'm not just a pretty face. I'm not even one of them.
Yes,
So, big thing that I'm interested in. Is there any intention ever to take pMad to the stage?
it's a bit like a lot of things. You have to be asked. I have to be asked at a ball. So, and then you have to make it. Yeah, loved it. We've been asked to a few different. I have had to debate about it. We did a live version of medicine, and we had great fun. And we have a few other lads that would be inclined to join us on stage. But more than the two of us, you'd like to make a bit of a stage show for people. I like a good gig, and I want people to have a good gig. And I am not, no insult intended to those places that only 20 people will turn up to us. I'm not going to turn up in, drive all the way to Germany and find out 20 people are there and it cost me 20 grand to get there. So, if someone wants to give us a tour of America supporting who's coming out at the moment, Depeche Mode, we'll tip along with them, no problem.
That might just be adequate enough, yeah.
Well, we'll plug in our gear into their amps and the other stuff, and we have a few little slaves to carry our guitars around. Then happy out, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So will and enable, yeah, no problem. We'll play Hellfest. We'll play any of those major festivals. Yeah. Leeds and Reading, we applied there. I was about 2 days late, but don't tell them. Shh. One of the songs you haven't heard yet, I've entered it for the Irish Eurovision contest.
You know what though? Ireland is one of the few countries out there that would probably give you like that. You wouldn't get anywhere in England, but you probably got a shot there.
Me, I will. No English blood in me anyway.
But no, it's not. It's nothing to do. It's the fact that England choices for the Eurovision Song Contest historically have been useless.
I know you've had ripping your skirt off, and what was the other one? Okay. I can't remember any more of them.
Yeah, I mean, those tracks only won because of politics, and we all know that. So,
okay, the politics is over now. You're out of Europe, so that's the end of that.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, we'll never get a number one.
Hopefully, in the small print, and I do read the small print, because the big print give it, the small print take it away. They said if you're good enough, we can suck. We can bring. I keep using the word suck. We can drag you in if you're good enough. So,
you are a little bit frustrated there, Paul. It's just everything seems to be sucking us off. I don't know.
Nothing maybe that's why the frustration is there. Yeah.
You ruined my mind now. I've literally, you can tell that I am off air after 32 hours and 25 minutes, can't you? So we're not going to be seeing pMad frequenting some open mic nights across Ireland then.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I'm a bit of a Naomi Campbell in that kind of way. I won't get out of bed for less than 10 grand, So I'll obviously spend a lot of time in bed.
I like that. But you're saying you've got if the offer did come, hint to anyone that may be listening, you're good to go.
We've been asked. I keep saying the proverbial we, but we can. Yeah, we've been asked, and we come as a double act even. We'd come as the greeting, we'll give you the support act, or we'll do the vice versa if you think, yeah. We can do the greeting and pMad because it'll be the same thing. Same musicians and
Okay.
night out, yeah.
Oh,
So
very
look
cool.
at answers on a postcard to pMad, yeah, and we'll put it together.
Yeah. I'm more than happy to take a commission on any of those bookings. So we've got a couple of tracks left. We're gonna have to finish up early so I can do the switch over, just so you know. But we haven't played it yet. The first track that you came to us with, which I'm going to say correctly. Who am I? And you are pMad. So this track is pretty much a year old now.
Yeah, it's played from the middle of November was the start of it, yeah, and 3rd of December it got released officially, but it was with yourselves before anyone else. And thanks to Damien, the fantastic Damien of the Daily Earworm as well. A wonderful show. Everyone should be supporting it. The best of Irish music, not just pMad. There's a great little country for punching above its weight. Not all you two and whoever else does that stuff. Boyzone.
It's great, and I wanted to focus on this much less this time than I did before, but Paul does run a great little group called the Best of Irish Indie, and even if you're not necessarily from Ireland, and I try to stay out of the votes a little bit when I don't know, but the music in there is absolutely exquisite, and you can find some real good gems, and it's nice to have the likes of both Paul, but I see Damien from the Earworm and some of the other key faces in the independent industry in Ireland all working there, and it's a great. It's where we started this interview, actually, talking about people working together and not kind of being out for themselves and learning and stealing off each other, and that group's been great for that.
Yeah, well, that's where it all started. Yeah, that's where my first email list came out. It was my idea. Clapping the back. It was my idea before there was ever a pMad to say, right, lads, give me your emails of that you think will play your music, has been playing your music, and I put 150, 200 emails together and emailed it out to other artists. And the only reason you getting this is if you email me back with the other, give me 20 or 30 that aren't on that list, and I can add it to the. So I would email back to the guy that originally sent it, and instead of him having just 30 emails, now he had 200 emails. So it multiplied into a couple of hundred, and Big Boy Foolish was very good, Artie Lights, and they were fierce good to us, so lovely people.
That's awesome. It's great to see the networking happening. So yeah, we'll play Who Am I, and then we'll kind of slowly start wrapping things up.
Apologies to your listeners.
What you're apologising for, wrapping up or listening to your music?
No, dude. Put up with me. Yeah. The time flies when you're having fun.
I know. This has been a bit different as well because I've had to stay hyper on schedule with all these events and stuff. Like we have to queue the events in advance, and if we're more than 10 minutes late, Facebook cancels the event for us. Yeah. We just can't do it. No. So yeah,
it's professionalism in the it's unbelievable. It's absolutely fantastic. It's one of the few times I've been here.
Fuck off.
You see, it just shows Zuckerberg is not a lunatic. He keeps you on toe, doesn't it?
Yeah, somewhat. Oh dear.
Very good.
Oh, right, where are we?
Who am I?
Who am I? This is what I've been asking myself for the past 3 hours. I always love doing this because every year I get more apologetic towards the end of it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm tired. We know.
But don't start crying now, because next thing I'll be getting given out to by everyone. You made Tiz cry. Don't cry.
Nice. It's all right. I had a mental breakdown last night. I'm not going to lie. Right in the middle of the show, broke down. I just couldn't cope with it. It was during the one. Well, this is how bad it got. During the interview with Wolf's Customs, like I could feel I've been staring at these screens for about 13 hours straight. I hadn't eaten. I could barely get off out my seat to get a drink, and I was standing there talking to him. Someone messaged me going, "You all right, mate?" I'm like, "Why?" My nose was just pissing with blood. Just standing there, blood running down my face. Just pressure, headache, nose explosion. Wow. So yeah, I have realised this year. I have fully realised I'm too old for this shit.
Well, never mind goals. You're not crazy enough anymore. Yeah, physically. Yeah. No. You've such a good team there now.
Yeah, I think future Zerpathons won't be consistent. Like, I think that overnight we'll start cutting off.
Or a lot of shows and pre-recorded a few different things and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Pre-recorded stuff, our podcasts and stuff, they're just not great. They don't. People come here for the live shows. A podcast they can listen anytime they want. So if it's pre-recorded, and it's hard to get someone to commit to do. Damien does for us, which is the Earworm show.
Yes.
But it's hard to get someone to commit to releasing the show with us and not putting it straight onto podcast platforms. Otherwise, we're not really getting anywhere.
Still, sympathies between shit and syphilis in the dictionary, like, so you have to mind yourself, you know.
You're quite right. You're quite right. You're a font of phrases, you are. Wonderful. Right, here we go. Who am I? I don't know anymore, but I do know I'm here with pMad. Unfortunately, we've got to start wrapping up because I've got to start doing the handover stuff for whatever Andrew has decided to do with his life this evening. If for those that didn't know, Andrew, for God's sake, host of Not Your Usual Beat, has got a 3-hour show lined up. He has also invited 24 different bands, which, say if each band has 4 members, that could be up to 100 people. He also only has 10 slots to get people in the stream. So, everyone, if you want to see absolute chaos, I mean, you know when we say the P in XRP never stood for professional, we're pretty sure that phrase came about the same time that Andrew joined XRP. So if you like car crash radio and you know XRP is the best car crash radio, tune into Not Your Usual Beat in about 16 minutes. But before that, as have I gave every other interview and performer that we've had through the Zerpathon today and yesterday and the day before. I want to give you 60 seconds to say whatever you want, be it fuck the government, be it hello mother, be it, well, I mean, there's certain things you know you can't say, but you know, don't say vote for Boris or something stupid. But 60 seconds. I know you can't. It doesn't. I don't even know how I said that, to be honest. Your 60 seconds of soapbox fame begins now.
The only thing I want to say is thank you so much to XRP. Wonderful to get started. All the people that have been so kind to pMad. My wife, as I said at the start, said, Paul, when you start this now, get your thick neck on because people are going to just rip you to shreds, right? I have been so lucky. Anyone that doesn't like pMad is not for everyone, and that's the finest. I don't mind at all. But those that don't like it have shut up, and that's fantastic. I'm delighted.
That's lucky.
Yeah, I could. So far, so good. And even to do, I don't care. So all I want to do is thank you. Thank all those that have supported pMad because it couldn't be one without the other. To thank Liam Martin, who is a wonderful friend of mine and in the greeting and has his advice is unbelievable. To Dominic in Protonaut Studios, absolutely fantastic producer. Pepe Ortega in Elite Mastering Labs, absolutely brilliant. And you can see I'm just the brains man, you know, and the good look. I'm just the face, you know. So I come up with the ideas. I'm the Hannibal of I love it when a good plan comes together. The other boys do all the hard work, you know. So, but most of all, thank the likes of yourselves, and you've been fantastic. And without your start, and it was a shot in the arm that is not a COVID shot, to say, well, that who am I isn't too bad, because no matter who we are, like I said, we're broken, and I have horror and all the other different things that go through your head. And except me, there is on your is on there for anyone who hasn't been released yet. Is that we all have our doubts in ourselves, and to get someone to say, geez, that's fairly good, why not? And you played it, and the hairs go up in the back of my neck, and I'm so, look at all I can do is grateful to you all and your listeners. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and thank you for letting us be, well, the start of your journey. It's just so humbling and such a nice thing to be able to see anything that you do on social media or anywhere it be, and just to be able to sit back and be like, we were there first. We did that. Yeah. I know it's not all down to us. A lot of hard work from, as you say, your team behind the scenes, and whoever does your hair, excellent. But it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you over the past year on your career.
Well, as they say, if you do something you love, you're never. It's not work, So it doesn't feel like it. I really enjoy. Yeah, it's gas. I don't know how you'd explain it. Chuffed.
Excellent. Well, I thought we'd actually finish. Bear with me. I'm ill as well. It's not helping. We'll finish off with actually your most recent non-mixed single, Youth, which is actually one that I haven't played as much as I should. If I'm being,
and I'm wondering, do people enjoy it? It's different. I got a phone call actually from a friend of mine, and I gave him the CD, and he's got 4 young kids from 7 to 11, and they're all read Mad. And next thing he phones me, and the 9-year-old is talking to me, and he's, "Are you pMad?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, you're not." He was bowled over. Oh, absolutely. And he said they're dancing around the room to Youth, like so.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
People like it. Jeez.
That's what I'd love someone. The only thing, the closest thing I've ever had to that is someone tapping me on the shoulder and going, "Oi, you tis?" Like, yeah. And then he just kind of went, "It's me," and I was like, "Who?" It's like, "I'm Ben Lynch." Ben Lynch who? And he ended up being a very good friend of mine in the long term. But I love just this thing that he knew me. He knew my voice from the radio. I was in a pub. He heard my voice. He came over to me and just assumed that, like, I knew his face. I've never seen him before in my life. All I know is this one piece of music is submitted, which is absolutely blinding. Use his.
You say now.
It's me. Love it. But I'd love to have someone turn around to me and go, "Are you tis?" Oh wow. Oh, that must have played nicely on your ego.
Oh yes. Look, that's like to be doing influences 9-year-olds. You just hope for the future.
Well, you know what, you're onto a winner if you're getting young people appreciating your music before they're getting into it, because you could be shaping the next wave of popular music now. You never know. That 9-year-old could pass your music on to their 9-year-old friend, and next thing we know, you're in Top of the Pops. They don't do that anymore, do they? Showed my age now.
You call me popular as you? Jeez, I thought you were being nice to me.
Oh, you're popular here on XRP, so some people may think that's amazing, some people less so. But here we go. Paul, it's been a pleasure speaking to you as always. I'm looking forward to, and please, I hope that we're going to be, if not the first, one of the first to receive the new album, getting a full playthrough from you after you've released the one that you've done, when you release your next one.
Thank you. Yes, I agree with you there. I don't know.
Excellent.
I agree with
you don't know what I said. Basically, I was just telling you to... Oh, did my voice go robot-y? It does that occasionally. Basically, I was saying, when you bring out the next album, because we've got all these tracks, we best be the first station to get the playthrough.
You're the first on my bookmark on XP computer to say.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm slightly worried that it's an XP computer. Don't think that list is going to last much longer. Get an upgrade. But lastly, this is Youth from pMad. I'm going to get you to give, because I've never got you to introduce this track before. So what is Youth about? And say your pMad and say goodbye.
Goodbye. This is pMad, and you are listening to Youth. It's about what would I do if I went back? Would I still be on the spotty-faced braces side of the room, or would I have the guts to go across and actually talk to the girls instead of just looking at them? And I still couldn't dance, I'm sure, anyway. So, yeah, it's about what would you do if you went back? And
lovely.
Cue the song.
It's on.
What's that?
Lovely. Sorry to have to kind of rush the end. It's a bit different to normal. But yeah, that wasn't a joke. I do hope that when that next album's out, we get the first playthrough.
Of course, yeah. No. Every single will come to you first, and
I'm holding on to you as long as possible. I'm not joking. I'm fed. I'm getting fed up of playing artists.
There's no guarantee.
Sorry, say that.
There's no guarantee people will like the next album, but there's got a good tune. I think they're good. Yeah.
I'm quietly confident the way these have come out anyway.
Cool.
And I tell you what, I have seen too many artists that I've sat down going, they're going to do quite well this year, and I let them go, and then we never hear from them again. Then they're on BBC Introducing, then on Glastonbury, and we're keeping you. You can go to BBC Introducing. But when you get your first BBC Introducing interview, you've got to sit there and go, I was played on XRP Radio first. So.
I will drop your names all over the place.
Nightwolf actually did that once on BBC Introducing, and they cut it out. Cut it out of the interview, couldn't believe it.
The closest I get to BBC Introducing is I get the email, someone has listened to your song, and you're waiting and never hear another word. So.
No. And unfortunately, I used to do that job. I used to be the guy that sent those emails out, and I know how it works. And
people ask me the interviews, what is success? Sure, I don't know. Sure, this is success. I'm here talking to wonderful people. Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
Jesus, they're talking about pMad. That's success to me. I was going to say this time last year, what I was at? Oh, I was fucking talking to you people anyway. But no. A week before this time last year, I was doing nothing. Yeah, so I was nobody. So yeah, it's brilliant. That's success.
Yeah, I success is measured in relative. It's all how you look at yourself and how you look at the people around you. But I mean, yeah, it's been a pleasure to see your success and be there at the start of it, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what the next year of pMad is.
The day I'm counting my success in gold, I'll be quite happy as well now.
Well, I mean, won't we all?
Yeah.
Right, let's just check. I've got this handover right. Paul, I've got to kick you off, I'm afraid, but it's been great speaking to you. And if not before, I'll see you in a year's time.
No, before that, hopefully.
I hope so.
Oh, God, yeah. You'll hear me anyway, because I'm sure you'll be professional all the time, so.
You know me.
I'll be waiting.
Okay. See you later, Paul. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks. Cut me off whenever you want there.
I'm doing it. Bye. That was pMad, and you're listening to Youth in the background. I've got to do a handover now, so we're closing the last live stream of the Tizathon section of the Zerpathon.